formed it this year. After October 7th, the genocide when it started, a few of us Muslims, we sat together and we were at that time helpless because we didn't know where to go. Nobody was listening to us. So we thought of like, how can we start doing this advocacy work, because we have to start reaching out to the people. And that's what the foundation we laid. Who we are? Basically, we represent the mosque-going Muslim community, because we personally feel that the mosque-going Muslim community is somehow not represented and our voices are not heard. Like, what do we want? What rights do we have in the country? Anything that a mosque-going Muslim wants, whether that is a curriculum in the textbook, or whether the masjid is not getting expansion permit, or whether the Muslim community here, we are unheard out some kind of foreign, lobby or foreign policies. Anything, like, basically we try to represent. We are pretty new, so please, bear with us. And we believe in one thing, which is engagement. Engagement is very important. We need to reach out to everyone. Blind support and blind faith, both are not good. Someone belong to one party does not give, or one ideology does not give everyone a check mark. We have to engage with each and every party, not just the mainstream, but even outside of the mainstream. And that's why today we are here. Democracy just does not mean that listen to the majoritarian voice, right? Democracy also means that even a minority voice should not be unheard of.
Right.
Small party or new party or small, nobody is small or big, first of all, but here in America some things are run by money, and we believe that every voices should be heard, and we should engage with everyone, and that's why the engagement parts is coming in Amin. And that's it pretty much about us. Alhamdulillah, we are organizing this event today. We rented this place and we are doing it here today. So I would like to welcome our guests today. Alhamdulillah, with us today we have Doug Marsh, who is running for US Senate. Thank you, Doug, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. With us we have Clyde Shabazz. He's running for US Congress 6th District.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thank you for having me.
And with us we have brother Sami Makhoul. Thank you, brother. With this, no further delay, I will let
And then one more. He was an unannounced official.
Unannounced.
This is Doug Campbell, Oakland County official in Green Party, and also running for this. Is it
U.S. House 11.
11 district?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My name is Shahid Rahman. If it's hard for you to pronounce, you can call me Shah. First of all, I would like to thank our distinguished guests for coming, and I would like to take this time for each one of you, please, if you can introduce yourself in a 5-minute manner, that would be great. Let's start with Makhoul.
Thank you. So I'm Sami Makhoul. I'm a chiropractor. I've been practicing my trade for the last 44 years in the metro area. And I am running on behalf of the Green Party for Way State Board of Governors. I'm running to have the students look at life in a new perspective, the perspective of President Kennedy. They should be engaged in the business of peace, whereby they are involved in looking at other cultures, other religions, understanding what peace is, what human dignity is, what respect is, what other countries' aspirations are. And when we have the respect of human dignity and the respect of the person themselves, then we understand that if you really treat people with dignity, you're gonna get respect back and dignity back. So the students at Wayne State University have been subjective to loss of the powers from the university, and the Board of Governors, unfortunately, has been run by the big lobbyists, the APAC, the American Israeli Political Action Committee. I think it's been controlling most of the universities, most of the parties, most of things in America. And the Senate, that's going to be our senator, I hope, is going to put an end to this. We're going to have the Justice Department look into APAC as a foreign agent, not an American entity. And it should be done whereby if you are not loyal to the United States of America and
That's
you're
right.
loyal to somebody else,
That's right.
then you
That's
should be registered as a foreign agent.
That's right.
So we are here to represent America at its very best. America is a diverse country. It's a country that's built on the belief in God. It's belief in human dignity. It's built on the people's aspirations. That if you really work hard in America, you should get to wherever you want to get based on what you do. Martin Luther King said, it's not the content, it's not the color of your skin, but the content of your character that makes a difference in life. So no matter what your skin is, but your content of your character, if you work hard and if you study and you want to succeed, like all of you are very successful right now. I'm really, really proud of the Bengali, people that came to this country, worked out funding, and made a great big impact. My son works with you all the time. He told me you are the most successful of the clients that he has because you all work very hard. You all have committed to this country. You all have committed to your families. Your families is number one for you. You work so hard to make dignity and life affordable to your kids. You are very successful in your homes, very successful in your business, and we want to thank you. America should thank you for what you have done to America.
Thank you, Sami Makhoul, for the great advice. And next we can move on to Douglas Campbell.
I hope I'm not repeating this too much for you. Over the 1970s, early 80s, the price of crude oil went from $3 a barrel to $30. It was a big shock that rippled through the country, probably through the world, but I wasn't paying attention on a global scale just yet. And being an engineer, I started focusing on energy conservation, alternative energies. In 1973, I started designing electric vehicles and sketching out simultaneously energy, power, range, and weight budgets. And the battery technology available at the time didn't make it very feasible. I learned that more than half of the energy consumed by Americans is just wasted. Some of it flagrantly so. Next time you see an escalator, a lot of them run all the time, whether anybody's using it or not. Many of them run 24/7, even when the facility's closed. It would be a very simple matter to put an occupancy detector on an escalator and turn it off when it's not in use. If you did that with every escalator in America, you could save as much energy as half of what a nuclear power plant puts out. About 400 megawatts. So I proposed lots of different strategies, lots of different ideas for cutting out this waste. I was for a while working in the energy management group for the entire Columbus, Ohio. And I went nowhere with it. I ran into ridiculous administrative and political obstacles. And for a time, I just didn't do anything. I felt completely powerless. In 1979, there was another OPEC oil embargo. Jimmy Carter was in the White House, and he made a very famous speech about energy supply, that we should cut out the waste, and that doing so was the moral equivalent of war. About that time, I learned that there's oil in Vietnam. I always wondered why we went there and why we killed 2 million people. Turns out the decision makers in Washington, D.C. and in Houston, Texas, decided that American oil companies ought to seize control of the oil in Vietnam.
Yep.
We failed. We succeeded in killing 2 million people there, but we failed in seizing the oil. When you have the opportunity, look up Petro-Vietnam sometime. The scale of the infrastructure installed there now to extract and deliver all that petroleum, their ports look like Port Arthur, Texas. It's just amazing the scale of it. I only recently, last year I think, learned there's offshore oil in Palestinian waters as well. I imagine that's what the real end game is.
Can you repeat that again, sir? Listen one more time, so I don't know.
There's offshore oil in Palestinian waters.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that
Interesting.
Yes. And I don't know, I hate to correct people who sound authoritative, but this skirmish didn't start on October 6th. This skirmish started in 1946.
Yep.
Nakba.
Yes, the Nakba.
Yep.
And it's not unprecedented. We have the same thing here in our country with the Trail of Tears and the Cherokee tribe that was forcibly removed from Georgia, or what is now Georgia. But that's how I came into politics.
Douglas P. Marsh. I'm running for U.S. Senate. I'll tell you how to vote for me first. You're going to see Jill Stein for president. You go one box down, and I'll be Douglas P. Marsh, Green Party. Next box down. Very easy to find. And I'll tell you why you should vote for me. I'm 40 years old. I'm a community journalist. I write for newspapers. I go to City Hall for the meetings. I go to schools and school board meetings. And I live in West Branch, about 150 miles north of here.
I'm sorry to interrupt you right there. I'm sorry, everybody. 150 miles. Give him a hand for miles.
I'm running for U.S. Senate because I want to see the end of these wars. And I saw that the people running for the U.S. Senate in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have no interest in stopping these wars. They are the darlings of the national security agencies. We have Alyssa Slotkin has raised $40 million for this U.S. Senate seat. She has spent $36 million. Alyssa Slotkin joined the CIA in 2003 and deployed to Afghanistan and worked for 17 years. So we know who Alyssa Slotkin is and what she'll do in the U.S. Senate. We can't tolerate it.
Right.
Mike Rogers lives in Florida and has no one's interest in mind but his own. He wants to enrich himself. I want to do good things for the people of Michigan, get us affordable health care, bring down the cost of housing, bring up the minimum wage, make life more affordable for everybody. Those are my priorities. That's what I'm struggling with as a regular working person here in Michigan. So,
Thank you.
that's me.
Mr. Clyde, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Clyde Shabazz. I am running for Congress in the 6th District against Debbie Dingell, another long-time Democratic stalwart operative who's up there really with Nancy Pelosi. Brothers, I came into the Green Party back in 2008 when Obama first did his first run for president. And at that time, a lot of the community from the black community was like hope and change, and they were real excited. I, however, was not one of those people. I ran against his party mate, John Conyers. Many of you recognize that name, John Conyers. He goes back to Rosa Parks and the Civil Rights Movement, and he had always been a long-time congressman, and he proposed this bill called H.R. 40. And what it is, it's a reparations bill to study reparations, and that's something that the community, the black community, has been talking about. I'm sure you all on the outside have been hearing the talk, but there's a lot of talk of whether there should be a study or should lineage-based cash reparations begin now? I challenged John Conyers way back in 2008 on this issue, and I said no. When the Japanese were interned, by executive order, Ronald Reagan signed off and gave them cash reparations. The same has happened with the Jewish community getting plenty of foreign aid from the United States, and our country didn't even commit a genocide. Germany did, right? But we are still subsidizing them. Do you all know that Israel has free health care that we're paying for? Our tax dollars subsidize all of the Israeli citizens, and we don't even have that for our own people right here in this country. And that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. So,
They have free education too.
and they have free education. Thank you, Dr. Sami Makhoul. Appreciate that. So, all of these things, what from Sami and both Dougs have hit on, that makes the Green Party the party of everybody in this room. One, we're like a big family. We share values of just being good human beings, Brother Sheikh, okay? That's number one. The other thing, too, is that the minute more good people who have good intentions stand up, you're not in it for the money, you're trying to promote good values, I believe that kind of spiritual energy is always going to trump the bad stuff. So I don't care if it's Team Red or Team Blue, you still get the same outcome, and the way to counter that is the green movement. I'm seeing in here tonight for Macomb County, and that's why I'm glad we came over here. We want you all, as a part of Macomb County, to go green, okay? And, that's going to help blossom. We're already in Oakland County. We're in Wayne County. We're in Washtenaw County. We love to be here with Macomb County and having you all run as judges, school board members, and representing our values and trying to promote a better society. So that's about why we're here tonight, and we wanted to come over here and break bread and talk about the Green Party in terms of its values. And you heard each of these guys talk a little bit about it, but one of the most important for me, and you all have kids or grandkids and the young people, if we don't start getting a hold of our environment and the things that's going on, we've got radiation in the ground, in the sky, and in the land with our water being polluted. We have to start becoming better caretakers of this land of ours. And we can still do that in a way where we can sustain ourselves and live and have jobs, but it's something that's real important for us. And those are the things that we wanted to kind of hit on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clyde. Right now, we're going to open the floor for Q&A sessions. So please, if you have any questions for the candidates here, Imam, please go
Let's
ahead.
eat and ask the question together.
Okay, yeah. Whoever's interested in some food in the back, please feel free. In the meantime, Imam, go ahead.
You can go. We are glad for this gathering tonight because as I am Imam here, a lot of people who is my friend and Islamic faith and different Islamic faith. As a people of United States, I'm here 45 years. So we hear everywhere I go, where we can go. And I don't know how long the Green Party is running for this, why the people, the public doesn't know about it. For a long time they're looking for solution because they see whoever gets there, whether from Republican or Democratic, they promise to do economic for the state and for the working for the, using the tax for the people in the United States because that's the money is from United States using for the student who graduate that don't have no job. So using it here instead to use it outside with no benefit and bringing problem, bad relationship with other people. No, that is what a question comes from a different way in the street, in the mosque, and that. And it's no matter what party or who support, who is they're running for, but in Islamic faith, and I'm sure in the book of Jesus or Moses or all the prophet, you cannot support a criminal. You cannot support a crime. Because when you support and the running, you don't know where to go. And I'm glad to see a Green Party will be away from those, away from those two parties who would, their history already, I don't have to say, people, they know their history all the way, promise, but when they get the chair, they don't fulfill any promise. And we are not each other, but what we see. That's what we call. And I'm glad to see the Green Party. This is the first time for me. And we promise to support the Green Party along with his support benefit for the people of the United States, students, children, and safety, and work for the United States.
Thank you. Thank you, Imam.
And I want to stand up and
That's why we will conclude at 8:10.
I wanted to just kind of answer your question about why a lot of people don't hear about the Green Party. That's because, brothers, the big TV stations like Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, they work together. They take that corporate money from the two parties and they run ad after ad, whether it's Republican or Democrat. I have right here, you can see it on my website if you go to voteclydeshabazz.com and you go to the issues tab. We had a demonstration in front of one of the TV stations for not covering our campaign. And that's because we're deliberately blacked out by them to not cover us. We all were there. And we wanted to change that. That's why we're hoping that all of you will get together so we can achieve at least that 5% threshold that we were talking about. Because as long as we're under 5%, then the Democratic Party, every 4 years or every 2 years when we try to run against them, they can engage in lawfare where they're going to hire lawyers to try to look for little something to throw us off the ballot and, you know, make it harder for us to compete. But our ideas, the Green Party ideas of taking care of the environment, ending the genocide in Palestine, you know, universal basic income, which is a concept that Doug didn't hit on, but I want to make sure you all know about that. UBI, or universal basic income, it's a term where anybody in the United States, if you're in the working class, which is a lot of guys in here, okay, if you're in the working class, you're working full time and you make $75,000 a year or less, you would get in Michigan for what we're proposing an additional $1,000 a month in UBI, or universal basic income. Now, thank you. You can clap for that. That's a great thing. Instead of money going to tax breaks for billionaires, what they're doing, what the Green Party wants to redirect that money as part of the Green New Deal economy. That's our term. Just like universal basic income is our term. We want to put more money in your hands, the poor and the working classes, so you can do what you need to do because you're the best know what you need to do to help your families. Now, when you hear the Green Party say that, the Republicans and the Democrats are going to come back and say, well, that's socialism. Well, that's communism. You can come back and support us because we have the answer to that big tale, and that both parties, remember Trump when he was in there the first time, he gave a one-time $1,400 stimulus check to everybody? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. That's UBI. That's all it is. It's just for that 1 week or that 1 month. That's all UBI is. You've seen the Democrats do the same thing, right? The Greens just want to do it for 12 months out the year, where they want to play political games with you and do it one time and tell you that they're the party that's really trying to help you, but we know that they're both just full of it. Then they can go back giving tax breaks to the billionaires and the warmongering companies. This is where we have to get smarter, but every vote this year, particularly from the Muslim community to help us get to that 5%, we really need you guys to be like laser focused on making sure you're getting everybody to the poll. Because every vote is going to count for us. We know it's going to be tight between the other two R and the D's, but we really need you engaged. But as I said earlier, Sheik, I don't think you were here. Our hope is, because the Green Party is growing, we're putting together what's called a Green Wall. And it's going to be a 6-county wall. And Macomb County is one of them. And we're counting on many of you in this room to want to step up, become Green Party members, run for judges, run for Senate, or whatever.
Run for office, support someone else who is.
Yes.
We want everybody who's running for office to be like us with our ideas and with our concerns. So we're all voting for each other, we're all running for office and supporting each other. It's a big movement, and we welcome you all to join us in it.
Yes. Thank you. We have one more. I will take one more question from the, please.
First of all, thanks for coming in and joining with this. May look a small event, but you know, every movement starts from one person, right? So there's nothing small, everything is big, right? Because if we have a good intention to do something better for the community and the society, for the country, the fruit will come later. That's fine.
There's
No
an
matter
old
what
saying, before
type
you
of
ask your question, brother, I just gotta get this in.
Go ahead.
There's an old, and I think it's an old Chinese proverb. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first what?
First step.
Go ahead, my brother, I'm sorry for
You
interrupting.
got you.
Go ahead.
So here's the couple. One maybe it can be a proposal because election knocking our door right there.
Yes, sir.
So and the other thing would be question I can ask you later. The proposal can be. See, every election time, Democrats and the Republicans, the candidates, they come knock our door to our community centers like this and other masjid and all those centers.
Yes.
They knock our doors and they beg for their votes and stuff like that, right? We responded to them, but I don't need to go back what's happening and what's motivating us to this year give vote to the Green Party's candidates. Why not you guys come and meet to the masjid's leadership here before this election coming. I know it's only maybe 2 weeks left now. So why not some of you do that, and then the Friday, the noon time, there most of the people gathers in our masjid.
Yeah.
So from say 12:30 to 2 o'clock, most of the masjids in this area, majority people gathers.
Yeah.
So I'm here, the secretary of a local masjid here, and I know a couple other brothers. They are representing from their masjid too. So I can give you a proposal. Contact us or these organizer brothers. We can take you to our masjid. From the masjid dais, we cannot endorse any party because of the 501c technical things. But if I stand next to you and I tell my people, hey, this is my brothers, vote for him. Because as a person, I can endorse anybody, no matter So let's do that sometime this Friday or something, if possible.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And the question coming after that, what can be done from the Green Party to take this, whatever we are right now, to take our full step to the next level? What can be done? What is the thoughts going on behind it?
Candidates.
I'd like to answer that question. Again, we're building a green wall. As just a term, good brother, to where I'm going to name off the 6 counties. Washtenaw County, which is Ann Arbor. Livingston County, which is Lansing. Genesee County, which is Flint, Michigan. Macomb County, which is Warren. Okay. Oakland County, which is Doug over in Ferndale, and then of course Wayne County, Detroit Dearborn. Okay. It's 83 counties in Michigan. 70% of the population of our whole state resides in these 6 counties. Our goal is to build a good enough wall where, like this election cycle, we ran about 20 people. 2 years from now, we'd like to double that, and maybe 4 years from now, by election time, we'd like to have 100 candidates running for green. Everything from, local school board all the way up to Senate candidate. But the impact of us all having a connection to each other will be huge. And as I was sharing with my other colleagues, we're in a good position, and I'm glad we're here tonight because you all here, somebody in here tonight can help us be the foot in the door for the Macomb County Greens. You with me, fellas? So we can begin to build in this county. If you just do that, like you said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step in 101. We're doing that tonight. So we can start building amongst from the community. Like I said, we don't want you to just vote. I'm looking at a potential judge in this room, somebody for school board in this room, somebody for potential candidacy in the future from you all.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Thank you.
As soon as this election is finished, I'm going up there to see who I can get to run for the township trustee, the township supervisor, the city councilor. Who are we going to get on the planning commission? Who's on your planning and zoning? Do you know how important planning and zoning is for your communities? We need everybody to step up and be a Green Party member, and then we're all going to be running this together for the right reasons in the right ways.
Your wisdom into this. And you're talking about Islam being a religion that promotes sincerity and understanding and brotherhood together. And we're talking about an international court that deemed that the Prime Minister of Israel and his Defense Minister are criminals by the international court. So this Prime Minister that came to our country and went to the Congress of the United States, and he got a standing ovation, and 50 times they applauded him. It was the product of an APEC. They were bought. They were trained to support this international criminal coming to our country. This is not acceptable by the Green Party. It's not acceptable by average American. It's not acceptable by Christians, by Muslims, by Jews, and so on.
Thank you. Do we have any more?
Yes, just.
I think Doug wanted to add something.
This is not a direct answer to your question about why we're not better known. But I want to caution you that there is a lot of disinformation out there. There's a website called greenparty.org. It's a spoof site. It's not us. Our website is gp.org. Also, on the Green New Deal, the Green Party adopted it, but we didn't invent it. It was invented by a think tank. But there is a real Green New Deal, and there is a watered-down Green New Deal that the Democratic Party is promoting. You want to be sure you're looking at the real Green New Deal, which doesn't just include federal subsidies for brand new electric cars. It includes rethinking transportation itself. Electric cars are great. They might be the future of automobiles, but automobiles cannot be the future of transportation. You cannot allocate 70% of your suburban real estate to the automobile and not expect something bad to happen.
Thanks for coming, guys, and it's nice to meet you all. I'm also first time meeting anybody that represents the Green Party, but it sounds like for us to get involved, you're looking for more candidacy in the future years, right?
Yes.
So that the party itself.
Do we have our sign-in? Do we have a list? We need to get a share a list with you.
That's okay. I can get a cut.
You can take it.
So,
Thank you.
Go ahead with the question.
so other than candidacy, what can we do? Because I'll be very frank, our Muslim community really is divided in this election. That's the reason we're actually discovering you.
Yeah.
It seems like it's happening for a good reason, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Because we're against the war, we're against everything that you're saying. We're a very value-driven community. All we care about is values. We just want to raise good families here. We want to be able to live our way of life, this religion here, right?
Yep.
And it seems like every candidates are touching on values. Every candidates are touching on similar thought process that we have in our community. So there's potential here for longer term relationships, be able to, get most of our community into a permanent green, go permanently green.
Yep.
But I'd like to hear some more about how do we do that? How do we do that over the next election and the election after that? Or else what's going to end up happening, we'll probably go out and we'll go vote green this time, and then somebody will promise us before next election that no, we're not going to go to war anymore, and everybody will flip, right? How do we do it where your value-driven ideas that you have aligns with the way we live our life,
Yep.
so that long-term we can build this relationship and we can all stay green? That's one thing.
Great.
Second thing I wanted to ask, second thing I wanted to know also, what goals do you currently have? I mean, I know Doug talked about potentially going to 5%, and then we may not get 5%, or the percent might change, right? What goals do you have as far as this election to next election? Like, is the party really targeting percentage increases? Are you targeting certain number of candidacy that you want to get year after year? What are the goals that you currently have, so that we can also take that back and think about it, right? And try to find alignment from our communities that will also be able to contribute to the goals that you have.
Thank you for that question,
You each
sir.
have
Okay.
one minute to answer.
And I'll answer that question very fast. Question number one, the first part about what's the short-term goal after this election. So hopefully this year, we're strong in 3 counties. We're in Oakland, Wayne, and Washtenaw County, okay? The goal is we're to get minimum 5%. Anything up above that is gravy, because we want to see Jill hit that 5% threshold nationally to put us in a better position where we don't have to keep engaging in lawfare with the Democrats every 2 to 4 years, okay? Long term, the second part of your question is just what we're doing tonight. We're taking that journey of a 1,000-mile first step, talking to people like you, the young man back here, to where you'll have us back again at your individual mosque just here in Macomb County. So there's a 6-county wall. We got Macomb, Genesee, and Livingston. That's Lansing and Flint. We're having these same talks with them up there. Then 2 years from now, we're more powerful. It's 6 counties now. 4 years from now, we're more organized. We've got candidates from all around, and we've got a party. Thank you. Time's up.
I can speak personally. I go to vote, and I can't do it when I see terrible people. I wanted there to be a choice for people like me, and I'm excited to see how many people vote for Jill Stein and how many people vote for me. I don't really think that I can win this election, but I'm excited to see what happens. And in the future, I want more people to believe that it is possible and to do things like this and to stay in communication and keep on trying and talk more with each other and be serious and hopeful and build for the future.
Yeah.
Well, Clyde may be talking about 5%, but I'm aiming for 51%. Several things that you can do. First of all, pay better attention. Look at a candidate's past history.
Yep.
And look at their funding sources. Go to Ballotpedia or go to the Federal Elections Commission. Who they're taking campaign contributions from is probably the most reliable predictor of what they're going to do after they're elected. Second of all, stop thinking, I know you've been indoctrinated since birth, or only for the last 45 years in this case, that there's a right wing, excuse me, I'm on stage, a right wing and a left wing to American politics. That's not really how it works. It's not right versus left, it's top versus bottom. The conventional wisdom of right versus left thinking says that the Green Party is the extreme left, the Libertarian is the extreme right, and the Republicans and the Democrats are the moderate center. Interestingly enough, the two titanic parties want to continue shipping weapons, war material, and military intelligence to the Israeli Defense Forces for the extermination of Palestinian Gentiles. Both the extreme left and the extreme right say, no, we have to stop that right now. So this right versus left model is just not applicable.
Thank you.
This question will
Yeah, I would like to be very brief. Number one, I would like to understand, do you guys have any representative who have won like local, like city council or township elections, nationwide or anywhere?
Okay,
Number two, are you open, if any of us are interested in future to run as a Green Party candidate? How should we engage with him? And number three, which is very straightforward, everybody wants to hear. At the beginning you said that you guys want to make sure that APAC and their 600 other sister organizations are registered as the FARA, foreign agent.
Yes.
How and what can we do to help you with that?
we'll have 2 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, first there's a problem with Michigan election law. We have run a lot of people for city, township, water commissioner, drain commissioner boards, things like that, but in Michigan, those are nonpartisan offices. As a practical matter, nonpartisan doesn't mean a whole lot more than your partisan affiliation isn't printed on the ballot. But what it means is that when we do win these elections, and we have, I think we've won about 60 or 70 smaller races in Michigan over the years.
We got county commissioner, Grand Traverse County.
Redford School Board, Jennifer Curley, you can look her up.
Not currently.
Not currently, but she's served on the school board as a Green.
We're looking at a win up north in UP. We've got a guy that's unopposed who's going to win.
Joanne Beeman was the drain commissioner of Charlevoix County and single-handedly prevented a Walmart from opening simply by enforcing the rules. She told them, you can't build without following our rules, and they decided to go somewhere else.
Does that answer your question? Do you
Yeah,
have
about the farm.
about the foreign?
Because of this, when we do elect people for local offices, we get no credit for it because they're nonpartisan.
The Green Party shares your values. Your values of family, of love, of non-violence, of peace. This is our motto, ecological wisdom, that we live in this planet, we are good stewards of this planet. As much as we clean our homes, our neighborhoods, our cities, we should be able to clean our planets from pollution and from radiation, from the food that we eat and all the things that they put into our farms and everything that affects our health and our livelihood. If you look at the people that were living in the 20s and 30s, you see them thin and nice and good, and look at what's happening right now because of the food that we eat. Look at the amount of diseases that are affected. Over 1 billion people will be affected by diabetes in the year 2040 if we don't take care of diabetes. Cancer is spreading rampant. COVID is spreading rampant. We should take care of our immune system, our bodies, our health, our ecology, our food, and everything else. The Green Party represents you because you are green inside of you, because every one of you works so hard to protect his family, to put his kids in school and in college, to live a dignified life. Your dignity is the most important asset that you have, and this is what we have as party. It's our dignity, it's our human life, and we want your support. We want you to be all going to the booth. We want you all to allow your friends, your families, and everyone else to vote for the Green Party, because the Green Party is you, and we are your Green Party.
Thank you. All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you for having us, everybody.
So we are going to